let's talk about some romances that you should read this Valentine's Day season. It is February, which means it is the season of love, and here are some romances that you should definitely pick up. First, I have X's and O's. This is a firefighter book influencer romance. It is so flirty, so fun, so cute. Highly recommend picking this up any time of year, but especially around Valentine's Day because this book actually does take place around Valentine's Day. Next, I have Mile High. This is book 1 in the Windy City series, which is one of my favorite series of all time. They are all professional sports romances in that series, and this one in particular is professional hockey. I love this book so much. I feel like the books in the series just keep getting better and better. Highly recommend picking this up if you're a fan of like deeper, more emotional romance with lots of spice. If you don't want spice, I highly recommend The Flat Share. This book is so cute. This follows Tiffy and Leon, and they both share an apartment. However, they have never met each other. They're sharing a 1-bedroom apartment, quite literally sleeping in the same bed, and they've never met each other because they're on opposite work schedules, but they begin to form a connection by leaving post-it notes around the apartment for each other. It is so sweet, so pure, the perfect lighthearted romance vibes for the holiday season. Then I have Crossroads by Devanny Perry, and if you are a fan of small town cowboy romances, I highly recommend this. This is a second chance romance with past and present timeline. It is emotional and deep, and the romance in this book is so beautiful. I highly recommend checking this out. I don't see it talked about nearly enough, and I love it. And I have You with a View by Jessica Joyce. This is another book that I think does a really beautiful job of holding space for both being fun and flirty and lighthearted, and covering the deep, emotional, heavy topics as well. Great read, great romance, perfect for Valentine's Day. Then I have Fragile Sanctuary. This is actually a book that I just recently read myself and I absolutely loved. This is a romantic suspense novel, so the stakes are a little bit higher. There's almost like a mystery thriller element going on simultaneously, but the romance in this book is absolutely unforgettable. This is a brother's best friend small town romance, and it's also very tense because, like I said, the romantic suspense elements definitely add a lot of angst. Lastly, I have Love Redesigned, and this is the first book in the Lakefront Billionaire series. I absolutely flew through this book. It is long, and I was so intimidated. I put it off for so long, but once I started reading it and listening to it, I could not stop. The billionaire trope, childhood rivals to lovers, and it is the perfect balance again of being lighthearted and funny, like laugh out loud funny, and also deep and emotional and covering a lot of really serious topics too. So those are some of my favorite romances that I highly recommend looking into this Valentine's Day season. What are some of your top favorite romances? Comment down below.